instead of the living God. We have worshipped idols and stopped worshiping Christ, the lover of our souls. In Jeremiah chapter 2, God cries out like a heartsick father. And he says, why have my people forsaken me? Why do they worship these man-made creations, these wooden poles, and these steel precipices? Why do they worship these things? These things cannot save them. We build these skyscrapers. These skyscrapers did not save us during 9/11. They were the form of our destruction. Very conduit to how lives were taken. Why do we worship these things that we created? Do you know how ignorant? Do you know how foolish it is to buy something like a car, to buy a security system in your house, and then worship it and say, protect me, take care of me, give me identity? Wait a second. You bought it. It's created by people. How in the hell can it save you when you know what hits the fan? Idols enslave. We saw with the Samaritan woman. She idolized romance, love, sex, worth. We see Jacob today. He also idolized a lot of those things. And I'm afraid today, my friends, that we are not excited for God. We are not excited for one another. We are not in community because we are polluting our souls. We are polluting our souls. We are polluting our souls by satisfying our eternal desires with man-made solutions. We are polluting our soul by trying to satisfy it with man-made creations. You know what's crazy about the human experience? Everything in our hearts tells us you want something forever. You want something infinitely. And yet all our experiences end. Something in your heart wants forever. Something in your heart wants something that will last forever. Please pay attention if you're not. This is very important that you understand this. Something in your heart, something in your mind wants eternity. And yet all your experiences are limited, fade away, are temporal. And this is precisely why God said, you cannot have any other gods before me. You know, we're all on a search. We're all on a voyage. We're all on a mission. And you know what this mission in all of our lives consists of? What does life mean? We are all searching for a life-giving drink. We are all searching for a cup of water to be refreshed. But so many of us have forsaken Christ and gotten drunk off of sin-infested gutter water. You ever wonder why you have the thoughts you have and why you say the things you do? Because your idols, your counterfeit gods tell you to say that, tell you to do that. There are times where I lie. Oh, why did I lie? You know why? Because my idol of significance tells me, if you tell the truth, you look stupid. So my idol tells me, Byung, you have to lie in order to look significant. So I lie. I lie. I want to take a quick study of this woman for a second. Today we're observing a woman in John 4 who was tightly entangled by love and the disappointments of it. This woman in John chapter 4 was a slave to love. And my young friends, when love becomes your master, especially in the form of a man or woman, that person will know no boundaries. Do you wonder why women return to the men that beat them, raped them, hit them, and abused them? Because he is their counterfeit God. And counterfeit gods demand everything from you because they don't know any boundaries. They exceed all proper boundaries. That's why greed lurks in the heart of money-hungry people. Because money will tell you, by any means necessary, get rich or die trying. Where does that come from? It is our counterfeit gods telling us that. And when this emptiness in our soul is ignored, we become driven people who will sacrifice anything and everything to find meaning and identity in ourselves. Let's look at this woman. She had 5 husbands, and the man she was living with was not her husband. Now, I'm going to use my imagination to think upon what happened in her previous 5 relationships. Perhaps her first husband cheated on her. That happens a lot. Her second husband may have abused her. Her third husband, maybe she just ran out on him, and she ran out of hope. And her fourth husband just used her. And now her fifth husband, she didn't care about the relationship anymore. She was so jaded and calloused. She didn't care. And now she was living with someone else's husband. Wow. And now she is living with someone else's husband. She was looking for love with no commitment, which led her to live in adultery. Would it offend you today? Would it offend you today if God looked within the depths of your soul and your inner longings and looked at your thirst and he called you out? Because unfortunately for us, there's no other way for us to know that we are needy. Jesus seemed kind of mean. Doesn't Jesus seem kind of mean and conniving when he knows that she is a slut and he has the nerve to ask her, so where's your husband? Guys, think about that for a second. Doesn't it seem kind of messed up that Jesus knows she's promiscuous. She sleeps around. And he still has the nerve, the audacity to look at this woman after asking for a cup of water and say, hey, lady, where's your husband? And then she lies. Or it's a half-truth, which is a full lie. I have no husband, she says. Jesus said, that's right. That's right, you don't have a husband. Because the man you're sleeping with right now, he's somebody else's husband. She was stopped in her tracks. She didn't know what to do. A lot of us, when we know we are sinning, when we know that what we really need is Jesus, we change the subject, don't we? We change the subject. And I'm begging you guys, don't change the channel. You need to know that you are empty inside. You have inner longings. And those idols, those counterfeit gods, those man-made things, even that person you hang on your shoulder, they're not going to make you happy. They're not going to make you happy. You think getting married is going to make you happy? You think married is going to make your life worthwhile? Really? You do? Tell that to the 57% of America. 57% of Americans get divorced, including Koreans. None of these things will make you happy. In spite of how good they are, in spite of how great they might be, they're not going to make you happy. So what is the solution? What am I telling you guys to do here today? If you have been drinking from cisterns which cannot hold water, if you have been drinking from brooks polluted by pride,